Mason Greenwood to Marseille deal looking like it could fall through. Manchester United in talks with Juventus over potential swap deal involving Chiesa and Jadon Sancho, and Leny Yoro is set to make his decision on his next club. These are just some of the stories we will be discussing on this evening's show. But before we get into that, please do me one small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Let's try and see 800 likes on this evening's show. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. I'm live every single day at 8:30, 1:30 and 6 p.m. UK time. So make sure you get involved for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Okay, let's jump straight into it then. As always at the moment, there is so much news to get into. It's just coming thick and fast. So I want to start the show by talking about some outgoings, and I want to talk a little bit about the Pellistri, because what is going on with Pellistri is this. Let me just get the story up for you. Apparently, Pellistri wants to leave Manchester United. That's the headline. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Apparently, he's not happy with his game time and he wants to move. And you know what? I don't blame him. Like, realistically, Pellistri's not going to get game time at Manchester United. Let's be honest, he isn't. Whether you think he should or not, that's a question to ask. But I think his future is elsewhere. He's not a kid anymore. He's 22. It's not like he's a 16-year-old who's, having to wait for his opportunity. He's got 1 year left of his contract. He's been at Manchester United for 5 years now. And he's probably played, 10 games max? So, yeah, it looks like Pellistri will be leaving the club. We only paid 8 million euros for him. So I actually think there's a genuine chance we could make a bit of profit on Pellistri, which is an absolute rarity for Manchester United at the moment. Now, I want you to let me know in the comment section, would you sell Pellistri? And if so, how much do you think Pellistri is worth? I would probably say somewhere between 10 and 20 million euros would probably be fair, being completely honest. I know he's heavily involved with the Uruguayan national team, which hopefully should bump his price up. But yeah, I just don't see him getting game time. Amad Diallo this season is Amad's season. Anthony's always going to get game time because we spent 100 million euros on him. So we have to try and make it work. And then you've got Rashford and Greenwood, Rashford and Garnacho, who also can play on the right wing. So yeah, I don't really disagree with Pellistri here. I think, him leaving is the correct decision for him. It's probably the correct decision for the club, and I wish him all the best. I don't know at the moment where he's going to go, but apparently his agents are looking for an exit for him effectively. So as soon as an offer comes in, it looks like Pellistri will move on. Only 1 year left of his contract. He doesn't want to sign a new deal at Manchester United. I think selling is the best option for everybody here. But as always, you can let me know in the comment section what you think about that one. So let me know what you think below. Let's see what people... Yeah, the computer's working again now, guys. The computer was in an absolute meltdown this morning. So I do apologise for that. Literally, nearly blew up. I've deleted loads of things off it earlier on today, so hopefully it'll be all right now. But yeah, anyway, let's move on with the rest of the show. And I wanted to now focus a little bit on Leny Yoro. The headline this evening coming out from Florian Plettenberg, who is the very reliable Sky Sports journalist, is that Leny Yoro has not yet made a decision on whether to join Manchester United or Real Madrid. So the latest with that is Real Madrid apparently are not willing to offer anything more than 17 million. Manchester United have had an offer accepted of 42 million. So there's a massive difference in the two prices offered by the two clubs. Leny Yoro still seems to want to come to Real Madrid. I still don't really understand that, to be honest. If he was in his prime and Real Madrid desperately needed a new centre-back and he was going to start every single game, then I get it. But he's only 18, right? He's got a very long way to go. Why does he not just come to Manchester United, sign a 4-year contract, see how he gets on, and then in 2 years, he'll only be 20, 3 years, he'll be 21. And if he wants to move, then he can move, And the good thing about that for Manchester United is if we pay 42 million for him and he turns into one of the best centre-backs in the world and Real Madrid come knock him, we should get 60, 70, 80 million for him. So I think it's win-win for us. And I know people will say, oh, if he doesn't want to come to United, then don't sign him. We only want players who want to come to Manchester United. I get it. You want people who live and breathe Manchester United, okay? But I think Real Madrid is the exception, being completely honest. If it was PSG, I'd be like, why are you going to PSG? If it was Arsenal, you'd be like, why are you going to Arsenal? Liverpool, you'd be like, why are you going to Liverpool? Do you know what I mean? But Real Madrid they are the best team in the world. There's no debating it. They are, whether you like it or not. We can think we're the best team in the world, but we're not. Let's be honest. Real Madrid are run so well. They constantly win the biggest and best trophies. They get the best players. They've got the biggest stadium, the best stadium. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they make the most money. So, yeah, I do get it. But I think for the actual development of the player, him coming to Manchester United would make a hell of a lot more sense. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, what's your opinion on Leny Yoro? Should Manchester United keep pursuing him, or do you think we should look at alternative options? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I asked a question earlier on, and I'll ask it again now. If we could only sign one centre-back this summer, who would you go for? If you had to pick between Leny Yoro, De Ligt, and Branthwaite. I'm going to do a poll here, actually. Let's do a poll quickly. Welcome to Khan, who's just joined the Daily Red Devil Members Club. Thank you very much for your support, my friend. I hope you are doing well. If you want to join the Members Club, hit the $sign. You get a badge next to your name. You get some other things as well, and it really supports the channel. So if you are in a position to do that, please get involved. Join the Members Club. If you're not in a position to do that, please just like the video. It doesn't cost you any money. It's completely free. I've set a likes target of 800 for today's show. The more people that like today's video, the more that YouTube will show it to other people, which will allow us to effectively do bigger and better things in the future. So please go and do that if you haven't already. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We're only one subscriber away from 27,500. So if this is your first time watching today, make sure you go and subscribe now. Let's make sure we get that next milestone by the end of today's video. It's completely free content, no reason not to. So the poll is going to be this. You can only pick one. As I said, if you're watching this back on repeat, get involved in the comment section. If you are watching this live, you can obviously get involved in the poll. Who was the other one? De Ligt. So the question is this. You can only pick one player. And the three options are Leny Yoro, Matthijs de Ligt, or Jarrad Branthwaite. Give me some reasons, like why have you picked the person you want? Let me know in the comment section. I always read through all the comments. I always like to see what other Manchester United fans have to say. So make sure you get involved with that. Okay, moving on from that, I want to jump over to Jadon Sancho. This is coming out from Gazzetta, and it's also coming out from Damasio, so two reliable Italian journalists and outlets. And they are reporting that Manchester United and Juventus are still in talks over Jadon Sancho joining Juventus. And apparently, Federico Chiesa is being mentioned as a possible make-weight in the deal. So, effectively, Jadon Sancho would join Juventus and we would sign Federico Chiesa. And you know what? I would take that in a heartbeat, without a shadow of a doubt at this point. Nobody clearly wants to give us any money for Sancho. People only want to subscribe. People only want to loan him, which gets us nowhere. We probably pay half of his wages and then we still have the same problem next summer. So for me personally, if we could genuinely get Federico Chiesa to Manchester United and send Sancho the other way, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Is Chiesa a better player than Sancho? I'm not sure. I think they're probably quite even. I would say this, though. I think Jadon Sancho has a higher ceiling than Chiesa. I think if Jadon Sancho is happy at the right club and all the rest of it, I think he could be a better player than Chiesa. But at this moment in time, I genuinely think that there isn't much of a difference between Chiesa and Jadon Sancho, and I would take Chiesa in a heartbeat. Apparently, to join Manchester United, he's only asking for 130 grand a week, which I know is a lot to me or you, but Jadon Sancho is currently earning 250 grand a week. We replace one player who calls out the manager, turns up late to training and has a bad mentality for another, and we save half of the wages. So I think it's a no-brainer, personally. Will we look back in the future and regret this decision? Possibly. Possibly 2 years down the line, Juventus will sell Chiesa for loads of money and we'll all be sat here saying, what have we done? But we can't live in hypothetical worlds, can we? You know? Like, we have to be realistic. Nobody wants to pay any money for Jadon Sancho. Even Dortmund, who after the Champions League quarter-final were trolling at Man United on Twitter, saying, Jadon Sancho's back. You never got to saw Jadon Sancho. Like, literally, Borussia Dortmund were trolling Manchester United on Twitter on their legit account, right? But now they won't even pay any money for him. They say we don't have any money. We'll loan him. It's completely embarrassing. I'm sorry, it is embarrassing. And again, these clubs think that they can pull the wool over Manchester United's eyes. They think they can make a fool of us. And I would say to Jadon Sancho, either you leave on a permanent or you're going to train with the under-18s. And if he's not happy with that, then I don't really care, to be honest. Like, we know that Saudi Arabian clubs want to sign him for big money, but apparently he doesn't want to go there. So the only option we really have now is Juventus, being completely honest. There's nobody else who wants to sign him. I always had this slight feeling that maybe you could see him going back to London. Obviously, Jadon Sancho is originally from London, isn't he? Maybe like an Arsenal going for him. This is just an opinion. This isn't, been reported anywhere, but I am surprised like a Tottenham or an Arsenal haven't gone in for Jadon Sancho. But it just shows how low his stock price is. Even though he got to the Champions League final with Borussia Dortmund, nobody wants to pay any money for him. People are only willing to take him on loan. And even then, the worst thing about this loan deal is that these clubs are expecting Manchester United to pay half of his wages. So not only do we get no money, we still have to pay him half of his wages every single week for a year. And half of his wages is a hell of a lot of money, 125k a week. So yeah, we really, really need to get Jadon Sancho gone. I said a couple of days ago, like, I would have had no problem with Jadon Sancho coming back, training, and trying to look like he's breaking back into the team again, because that would have increased his value. But Jadon's not even training at the moment. Him and Mason Greenwood are not part of first team training. So he doesn't want to come back. It's as simple as that. But it's really frustrating. And it's a really frustrating situation that we're stuck with him and we're still talking about him. We spoke about him all throughout the year. What are we going to do? Where's he going to go? But yet we're still in the same place that we were 6 months ago, and if not, a worse place. But yeah, let me know. What would you do with Jadon Sancho? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Would you be happy with another loan deal, or do you think Manchester United need to look for a permanent exit? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I will read through all of your comments. I always like to see what other Manchester United fans have to say. So I'll have a look at that after the show finishes. But moving on from that, though, I wanted to jump over to Reguilón. And you're probably thinking, what? Really? Reguilón again? Are we actually going to talk about this? Well, apparently Manchester United are in talks with Tottenham over signing Sergio Reguilón. It says that Tottenham are willing to accept a cut price offer for Reguilón, with Manchester United interested. It says, according to a report, Tottenham are now willing to accept a cut price offer for left-back Reguilón this summer amid fresh claims that Manchester United are desperate for his signature. It says, it was reported by the Spanish media last week that United are interested in signing Reguilón to strengthen their left-back department. The Spaniards spent the last half of the season, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, Spurs want £10 million for Reguilón. What does everybody think about that? I'll get a poll going. So the results of the first poll, I asked you could only pick one player. The options were Leny Yoro, Branthwaite and De Ligt. 48% of you said De Ligt. 7% of you said Branthwaite and 45% of you said Leny Yoro. So that's the results of the first poll. Obviously, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The second poll is going to be this. It's going to be, whilst I'm setting up the poll, if everybody who's watching can like the video, that would be really, really appreciated. We've got over 800 people watching live now. I've set a likes target of 800. So if everybody who's watching likes the video, we will hit that target and I can stop asking you to do it. So please go and do that. I would very, very much appreciate it. And if this is your first time watching, please do make sure to subscribe as well. We're still one subscriber away from 27,500. So if this is your first time watching, subscribe. We're live every day, 3 times a day. Get involved here on Daily Red Devil. Okay, so the next poll is going to be this. Would you sign Reguilón for 10 million? Simple question. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you're watching this video back on repeat, get in the comment section. Let me know. Would you sign Reguilón for £10 million? I wouldn't sign him for 10, to be honest. I think 10 is a little bit much. He's got 1 year left of his contract. Tottenham clearly don't want him. There's no one else interested in him at the moment. If we could get him for like 5 million, I think it would be a good deal. I think he's a decent player to have as a backup option. So to simplify my answer, do I think he's worth 10 million? No. Do I think Manchester United could get him for maybe between 5 and 8 million? Yes. Would I do that? Yes. He's not on massive wages. Honestly, if we could get him for, like I said, 5 million, I think it would be an absolute bargain. I think it would be a no-brainer. He's only currently paid about 50k a week at Tottenham. So I think it makes a lot of sense, because I know the left-back situation was a problem last year, but we all expect Luke Shaw to be back fit this season. If Luke Shaw is injured again all season, then we may as well terminate his contract. If Malacia is injured again all season, we may as well terminate his contract. Both of them, okay? The likelihood is Luke Shaw should be fit for this season. And bringing in Reguilon as a backup option for 5 million, say, would make a lot of sense. It kind of protects us, doesn't it? But I do think that 10 million is a little bit too much, to be completely honest with you. But let me know in the comment section what you think. Would you sign Sergio Reguilon for 10 million? He's on 50k a week. Let me know your thoughts. Mark says, why didn't Brentford sign him? I'm not too sure, to be honest with you, mate. I don't know. I don't really follow Brentford too much. I imagine Reguilon probably didn't want to stay at Brentford, being completely honest. Like, I think Reguilon could move to like La Liga or to Turkey, or, you know, he could move to a bigger club than Brentford, I think. He's not a bad player. He's not world class, but he's an all right squad player, Reguilon. He's probably better than Malacia, isn't he? Realistically, let's be honest. Like, in that first season we saw Malacia, would you genuinely tell me Malacia is better than Reguilon? I don't think so. I'd say they're probably on par. So, obviously we've got Harry Amas as well, the young left-back who's breaking through from the youth academy, but he is still very, very young. There is some murmurs that apparently Manchester United might try and, you know, make Harry Amas a first-team player this season, but I think it probably is a little bit too soon in his development. I think it would be good to see him in maybe some League Cup matches, maybe in the Europa League if we qualify early. But yeah, to be relying on Harry Amas as our first team left back at the age of 17 is maybe a bit too soon. I think if we're being completely honest, the best option for Harry Amas would be to loan him out next season, maybe to a championship club. Give him one, you know, like we did with Ahmad. We loaned him out to Sunderland. He did really well. And now he's breaking into the first team. I think that would make the most sense. But yeah, maybe he is ready. I don't know. I need to watch a little bit more of him to see where we're at. Lumen says, do you think 7 million for Reguilon would be fair? Yeah, something around that price, you know, somewhere between 5 and 8 million. He's only got 1 year left of his contract. If Tottenham don't sell him now, they'll lose him for free next summer. So yeah. The Red Devil says, Kieran, does our Fernandez deal have a buyback clause? I don't think so, mate. He's talking about the left back Fernandez, who we sold to Benfica. I don't think there's a buyback clause. I think there's a sell-on bonus. Somebody says we should get Guterres from Girona and sell Luke Shaw and Malacia. I mean, in an ideal world, mate, that's what we should do, but I just don't think it's realistic. Apparently, Girona are asking for about 40 million for Guterres, which is crazy money. You know, 40 million pounds. What happens to Luke Shaw then? No one's going to buy Luke Shaw. We can sit here and say, sell Luke Shaw, sell Luke Shaw. No one's going to buy him. Luke Shaw's missed 50% of Manchester United's games since we signed him, and Malacia has literally disappeared off the face of the earth. Nobody's going to sign Luke Shaw and Malacia with their injury records, so we're stuck with them. The only option we have is to hope and pray that next season they don't get injured. I just realised my lights aren't on. Yeah, our only hope is that Luke Shaw and Malacia have a better season next year. Because if they don't, I think we probably just would be better terminating their contracts. Because, yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? But yeah, let me know what you think about that one. Should Manchester United sign Reguilon? Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think is going to happen with Luke Shaw and Malacia this season as well? Like, do you think they're going to actually be fit? Can we rely on them? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Right, I want to move over to Manuel Ugarte then, because there is some positive news coming out in the last half an hour from a very reliable French outlet. They are reporting that Manchester United have now submitted a formal proposal to sign Paris Saint-Germain midfielder Manuel Ugarte. It says that United are keen to strengthen their midfield options, with Ugarte being linked to a move to Old Trafford. It says it is reported that United are now pushing hard to sign Manuel Ugarte and have submitted a verbal proposal to PSG worth £38 million. Now, would everyone be happy with that? £38 million for Manuel Ugarte. Let me know your thoughts below. I think that's a really good deal, to be honest. I really, really do. He's only 23. He's been doing really well for Uruguay at the Copa America. He was regarded as one of the best young CDMs in world football before he joined PSG. He joined PSG and he just hasn't had the game time. That's not because he's a bad player. It's just because of how many options PSG have in that midfield position. PSG are willing to sell. He wants to come to Manchester United. He's apparently agreed personal terms. Do you think 38 million is a fair price? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm really happy with that. I think it's a bargain. I really, really do. I think if he comes and fulfills the potential that we all expect of him, he'll be worth way more than 38 million in a couple of years. I genuinely believe that. He's only 23. He's got a very, very long career left. You know, he's probably got 10 years left at the top of world football. If you compare that to, say, someone like Paulinho, right? Paulinho's just joined Bayern Munich, hasn't he? Paulinho is 30. He's just turned 30. And they've just signed him for £50 million. So if we could get somebody in the same position, I know Paulinho is more experienced, I get that, but it kind of gives you a bit of an idea of the market value. Bayern Munich literally just spent 50 million plus add-ons for Paulinho, and we can get a 23-year-old who is doing really, really well for Uruguay and did really well for Sporting Lisbon before he joined PSG for only 23 million. I think it's a bargain. I really do. But again, you can let me know in the comment section, would you like to see Manuel Ugarte at Manchester United? 38 million pounds is the fee. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Uruguay are playing tonight in the Copa America, so if you are able to watch that, go and do that. People are asking me for my score prediction for the England game. I think England will qualify, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be a particularly entertaining match. I reckon it will probably go to extra time and penalties, the England game. But yeah, why don't you give me your score predictions in the comment section? That would be a good question. What is your score prediction for England versus Netherlands? Let me know below. We've got over 850 people watching the show live now, which is absolutely incredible. Big ups to all of you who are joining me. If you have just joined, please do me a small favour and smash a like. I've set a likes target of 800 for today's video, and we are literally now on the brink of hitting 27,500 subscribers. We're still one subscriber away. There must be somebody out there watching today who isn't currently subscribed and can go and do that just to put my OCD at ease. So one subscriber away from 27,500. Go and do that. I would very much appreciate it. Okay, moving on from that. This isn't the most exciting bit of news, but it is a news show. So Samuel Luckhurst has been reporting in the last half an hour that apparently Manchester United are in conversation with Johnny Evans over a new contract. What does everybody think about that? Should Johnny Evans be given a new contract? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do I think Johnny Evans should get a new deal? I probably would give Evans a one-year contract. He was arguably our best centre-back last season. I think I definitely would, actually. He's not on very much money. He has the mentality. He has the experience. So yeah, Johnny Evans, one more year. Why not? Obviously, we want to get Branthwaite, we want to get De Ligt, and we want to get Leny Yoro, but in reality, we might only end up with one of them. Leny Yoro might go to Real Madrid, and Branthwaite might be forced out of a move by Everton. So then all we'll be left with is De Ligt. We would only have De Ligt, Martinez, Maguire, Lindelof, and Johnny Evans. So we do really need Johnny Evans. Obviously, for anybody who missed the show this morning, apparently Willy Cambuala has rejected a new contract at Manchester United. He's only got 1 year left of his current deal. Man United have tried to sign him, extend his deal, and he said no. He wants to leave the club, apparently. There is interest from the MLS, La Liga, and from the French League. So it looks like Willy Cambuala is going to go, which is disappointing, to be honest. I really like Willy Cambuala. I would love to have seen Willy Cambuala stay and like break through into the first team, but I think he's probably looking at the situation and thinking, you know what? I'm not going to get any opportunities. If Manchester United sign De Ligt and Branthwaite, Willy Cambuala's never going to play, is he? You know? I can see people in the chat saying that Maguire should leave. Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof will be sold this summer. That's the plan by Manchester United. That's what Dan Ashworth wants to do. He wants both of those players to go because they both only have 1 year left of the contract of their contracts. You know, so yeah, I think we need to sell Maguire and Lindelof because otherwise, this time next year they'll leave for nothing, and we'll be sat here scratching our heads saying, what the hell have we done? Like, we have the opportunity right now to sell Lindelof for probably 10 to 15 million and sell Maguire for probably 15 to 20 million, realistically, with 1 year left on their contract. Like, we need to do that. Those deals need to happen. And these are the kind of things that I'm going to be judging Ineos and Dan Ashworth on. is not just going to be on the players they sign. It's going to be about the players that they get rid of. That's just as important for me as who they sign. And I know that sounds, some people are really, really fixated on bringing in new players and that's all they care about. But I think the bigger job at Manchester United at the moment is getting rid of players. He's getting rid of players who are on big money and their contracts are running out. You think of people like, as I said, Lindelof, Maguire, and also working out what to do with people like Rashford, McTominay. Like, are they part of the plans for the future? If not, then you need to sell them. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we do on the outgoings. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Stefan says that apparently PSG are going to put in a bid for Marcus Rashford. I've not heard anything about that, but if you let me know where you've seen the story, I will go and have a look. But yeah, I haven't seen anything about Marcus Rashford to PSG recently. It's gone very, very quiet. Very quiet indeed. What else we got? Okay, let's move on from that then. Let's move on to Mason Greenwood then, shall we? So this is coming out from, where is it? There it is. This is coming out from Damasio, so a very reliable journalist, Gianluca Damasio. He is reporting that in the last few hours, Marseille's negotiations with Mason Greenwood have now slowed down because of the mayor's words on the potential signing. Now, for anybody who doesn't know what happened, the mayor of Marseille, so nothing to do with the football team, the actual mayor, the mayor of the city, came out with this. It was a crazy speech, he said. I've read it out on the show this morning. I'm not going to read it out again because it was pretty mental, but he effectively said that Mason Greenwood isn't welcome in Marseille and that he's going to do everything in his power to stop Marseille from signing Mason Greenwood. He called him a wife beater. He said wife beaters are not welcome in Marseille. He said what he did was horrible. Like all of these things. We don't need to go into it, but it's obviously caused absolute outrage now in the place of Marseille. And as a result of this, it looks like Lazio are now going to beat Marseille to the signing of Mason Greenwood. Because when you think of it realistically, right? Why would Mason Greenwood join Marseille now? Yes, they've agreed a deal with Manchester United, but you've got the mayor of the city coming out and like literally going in on him. And here's a few of it. He says, Greenwood's behaviour is unspeakable, unacceptable. Hitting his wife, I saw images that deeply shocked me. Attacking his wife in this way is unworthy of a man, and I believe he cannot have a place in this team. He says, the value of Marseille and the values of Olympique de Marseille are anything but that. It's anything but blah, blah, blah. He says, can you imagine violence against a woman? Do you realise that? And he wants to play for Marseille, Greenwood. It's a disgrace. So he's very, very upset. And as a result of this, it looks like the deal is breaking down. It looks like he won't be going there. He's not going to go there. So, I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens with this one, to be honest with you. It's a bit of a mess, to be honest with you. It really, really is. Apparently, Lazio would be willing to offer the same amount of money as Marseille. I honestly thought last night, right, when this story broke of a deal being accepted by Manchester United, I thought that was the end of the Mason Greenwood saga. Like, I genuinely thought that was the end of it. But it doesn't seem to be. Every single time that we seem to turn over a new leaf and it seems like the conversation finishes, there's a twist in the tale. Obviously, I'll keep you updated as and when we get more news, but as it stands, Mason Greenwood to Marseille doesn't look like it's going to happen for various reasons. It's all on Lazio now. Does this weaken Manchester United's selling power? Midas says apparently the Lazio president has said they've got 10 times the player now. Well, so you're saying that they don't even want him anymore? This Damasio story only came out about 10 minutes ago, so let's have a look. Yeah, so it says, this is coming out from Damasio in the last 5 minutes. He says, the Greenwood deal is now on standby because of the words from the mayor of Marseille. He says that Lazio now hope to sign Mason Greenwood. So Yeah, obviously I'll keep you updated, but it's gone very, very quiet. Big ups to Fred, who's just gifted 5 memberships to the Daily Red Devil members club. Thank you very much for your support, mate. I hope you are doing well. Yeah, I really just want this Mason Greenwood situation to be done with, you know? But it doesn't look like it will be. It looks like we're just going around in circles. Kerwin says, if it's the same deal with Lazio, then we're okay. Yeah. The thing is, though, right? Say Marseille pull out of the deal because of this whole thing with the mayor and all the rest of it. Surely that weakens Manchester United's selling position. Surely we're going to be in a really difficult position there. You know? Like, Lazio will just say, oh, well, we'll offer half now. I don't know. I saw some people earlier on saying, oh, they think that it's just an excuse to bring Mason Greenwood back and they think he'll actually end up coming back. Like, I don't think that is the case, to be honest. But obviously, I don't know. I don't know for sure. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Okay, let's get some questions in the live chat. Put the letter Q in front of your message and I will read out some. There's loads of people saying stuff, but nobody's really saying anything that I can read out at the moment. So if you have something you want to talk about, put the letter Q in front of your message and I will read it out, like somebody's done here. So Mongol, who is a member of the channel, says, is there any updates on Casemiro? Thank you for your question. In relation to Casemiro, Manchester United are apparently in talks with Saudi Arabian clubs. Cristiano Ronaldo apparently wants to bring him to Al Nassr, and Casemiro's camp are talking with lots and lots of different clubs in Saudi about a deal. They want ridiculous amounts of money, as you can imagine. They want a big contract, a long deal, big sponsorship packages, all of that stuff, because that's effectively why people go and play in the Saudi league, isn't it? Ronaldo says it's because the Saudi league is getting better, but in reality, they all go there for the paycheck. Let's be clear here. Like, nobody goes to the Saudi league for footballing reasons, do they? Like, really? So yeah, I think Casemiro will probably end up going. It's just, again, a case of getting the money right for everybody. So I'll keep you updated on that one. Melcher says, I imagine Lazio getting scared off because of the Marseille situation. Yeah, mate, I agree with you. I do. I think it's an absolute mess, to be honest with you. Like, just to go back to the Mason Greenwood one, because someone's asked, if it's become this much of a problem with Marseille, why is it not going to be a problem with any other club? You know? Isn't every club's mayor going to come out and say that they're not happy about it? I don't know. Let's have a look. We've got over 800 people watching live now, which is absolutely amazing. Big ups to all of you. If you haven't liked the video yet, please go and do that. And please subscribe. We're still one away from 27,500. I mean, this is really annoying now. Someone please subscribe and let's get that next target. Simon Kennedy says, Kieran, do you think the Yoro bid is just to push Everton to accept our bid for Branthwaite? That's a good question. From what I've been told, mate, no. Apparently Manchester United genuinely want to sign 3 centre-backs this summer because they want to get rid of Maguire and they want to get rid of Lindelof. And if they do that, they'll need 3 new centre-backs. As I said a couple of minutes ago, Willy Campoala is looking like he will leave. He doesn't want to sign a new contract and will most likely be sold. So in an ideal world, Manchester United will sell Willy Campoala, Lindelof, and Harry Maguire. They need 3 centre-backs. And being completely honest with you, Simon, I honestly don't think Everton are going to drop the asking price. I don't. Everton wants 70 million for Jared Branthwaite. We offered 35, they said no. We offered 45, they said no. Like, why would they suddenly say, oh yeah, we'll accept 45 million? I think Everton are going to hold out. I think if Man United want to get the Jared Branthwaite deal done, they will have to offer 70 million in some form. So it could be 55 million up front plus 15 million in add-ons. But I genuinely think that Everton want the figure to be 70 in one way or another. Does that make sense? Let me know if you agree. I just think they have this figure fixed in their head that 70 million is how much he's worth because they're looking at the Wesley Fofana deal, right? We are at fault for this, really. If you actually think about it logically, us paying £80 million for Harry Maguire is why Everton are saying they want 70 million for Jared Branthwaite. Leicester sold Wesley Fofana to Chelsea for 80 million euros. So more than what Everton are asking for Jared Branthwaite. This is the reason why Everton are asking for this amount of money. So I think the deal can be done. But as I said, I think we would we have to make the deal 70 million, one way or another. Simon says, how can they ask for 70 million for a 22-year-old who hasn't even played for England? The reason they can ask for 70 million, mate, is this, right? He is English, and obviously teams in England need a certain amount of homegrown players. He's also a left-sided centre-back, which is quite rare at the moment. There aren't that many left-sided centre-backs available on the market. Like, if you type in on Google left-sided centre-backs, let's have a look. Okay, so here's the top 10 left-sided centre-backs. Obviously, Martinez is a left-sided centre-back, but the thing that is valuable about Jared Branthwaite is that he can play left-sided centre-back because he's left-footed, but he can also play at right-sided centre-back because he's very good with his right foot. He is left-footed, but he is... You know when players are multi-footed? Does that make sense? Anthony literally can only use his left foot. If you give Anthony the ball on his right foot, he can't do anything with it. It's like a kid when you're trying to teach them to ride a bike. Whereas Jared Branthwaite is good with both feet. That's why his price is higher. And as I said, left-sided centre-backs are rare. He can also play at left-back as well. But if you look at this list, right? This is the top 10 best left-footed centre-backs in the world. This is a list I found. Number 1 is Martinez. Would you say Martinez is the best centre-back in the world? No, but he's the best left-footed centre-back. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Other ones are David Alaba, Pau Torres, Gabriel from Arsenal, Bastoni. Like, the further you go down the list, it gets pretty desperate. Pepe, Koulibaly. Like, there isn't that many out there, and that's why they're asking for this top money. It's supply and demand. So I agree that 70 million is a ridiculous amount of money, but I can understand... I can somewhat understand why they're asking for the money, you know? Although I don't agree with it. But let me know what you think. Is he worth 70 million? Everything Carpi says, do you reckon Bruno will end up at Saudi? I don't think Bruno will leave this season, to be honest. I think Bruno will probably leave next season, I reckon. Yeah, I can't see Bruno Fernandes leaving now, being completely honest. But we'll wait and see what happens with that one. Let's see what else people are saying in the chat. I'm just going to check if there's any breaking news that's gone live whilst I'm live. No, on my Twitter, it's just a video of Netherlands and English fans fighting. I don't understand that. I'm sorry. Like, you fly out to Germany, you spend thousands of pounds on hotels and flights, and all you want to do is fight. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but everyone's got their own views on things, don't they? Okay, let's see what else people are saying in the chat. William says, is there any more news on Scott McTominay going to Fulham? I think the Scott McTominay to Fulham deal will really liven up in the next couple of days. Paulinho has just been announced as a new Bayern Munich player. They got, I think, just under £50 million. Fulham did for Paulinho. Yeah, so we've just got to wait and see, you know? Obviously, a lot of the players will be back in training this week and next week. I think McTominay is still off. I think he's back on Monday. So that will be when things start to heat up, because obviously the players will come in after their holiday. They will sit down and they will have conversations with Erik ten Hag. They will see whether they're part of Ineos's plans going forward. So, yeah, at the moment, McTominay to Fulham has gone quiet, but I'll keep you updated on that as and when we get more news. Someone's saying, is Ferran Lopez coming to Manchester United? I've heard nothing about Ferran Lopez whatsoever. Let me have a look. Yeah, I've heard nothing. There was a story in June that apparently United submitted a bid, but I think that was just rubbish. Klaus says, can Lisandro Martinez play at left back? I don't think he ever has, to be honest, but maybe. I've never seen it before. Someone asking about Casemiro. We've already spoke about him. Ash says, why won't you acknowledge why clubs don't want Greenwood? I mean, I literally read out the statement from the mayor of Marseille, which said why they don't want Greenwood. Like, I don't really know what you want me to say, to be honest. There's nothing else really to say, is there? He was meant to sign for Marseille. and the mayor of Marseille has come out saying that he doesn't want somebody who's a wife beater to join his club. Is that not acknowledging why they didn't want him? I don't really understand your question. Raspberry says, why are we not buying cheap from South America? I'm not sure. I don't know. Man United never seem to buy from South America, do they? They buy South American players, but they buy South American players once they've already moved to like a big club in Europe, like Martinez at Ajax. I don't know. I mean, Ugarte's South American, isn't he? But he's already at PSG. It's a good question. We missed out on so many people. What else have we got? Cortland says, I don't know if this has been answered yet, but is there any updates on Amrabat? In relation to Amrabat, he is available. He wants to stay at Manchester United. Fiorentina are apparently asking for £12 million for Sofian Amrabat. You can let me know if you think that's a good deal. I've done many polls on Sofian Amrabat, and the large majority of people think for £12 million, it's an absolute no-brainer. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like Manchester United want to do it at the moment. Maybe they're waiting to see what happens with Ugarte first. He seems to be the number one target, Ugarte. Maybe Amrabat's kind of like an emergency backup. I don't know. But the deal is available there to do. Somebody says, what about Kadioglu from Fenerbahce? The Kadioglu story is there. Apparently Manchester United have approached Fenerbahce. But it's very, very early days for this deal. There is obviously the potential that Fenerbahce want to sign some of Manchester United players. Obviously, we spoke about Lindelof before. Apparently, Jose Mourinho wanted to bring Lindelof to Fenerbahce. Is there a world where we do some sort of swap deal, or we sell Lindelof and we buy Kadioglu? I don't know. But there is a strong link there with Kadioglu, the Turkish left-back. So it's one to keep an eye on. He's available for about 20 million euros. Whether or not it will happen, we'll have to wait and see. From what I can tell, United are focusing on Zirkzee, De Ligt, Leny Yoro and Ugarte. Those are kind of the four transfers. But I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined me on the show this evening. Please do me a favour and hit the like button before you leave. I've set a likes target of 800. So yeah, please go and do that on your way out. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if this is your first time watching. I will be back at 8:30 a.m. UK time for your morning show. If anything breaks between then and now, I will go live. So make sure the notification bell is on. Have a great evening, everybody. Go and enjoy the Netherlands-England game. And I'll speak to you all a bit later. Actually, before I go, right? Before I go, get in the comment section once this video is published and let me know your score prediction for the England-Netherlands game. So don't do it in the live chat here. Wait until the video is published. Go and click on the video and put your score prediction for England-Netherlands. I'll do mine as well, and we'll see who wins on the show tomorrow morning. Bye for now, everybody. Have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been Daily Red Devil, and I'll speak to you all at 8:30 a.m. UK time tomorrow. Bye for now.